Hi, welcome to Groundbreak and welcome to my session today on the customer experience. My name is Rob Frank. I'm the Customer Experience Director here at BW, Workplace Fit Out Experts. We are based in the UK, London and the Southeast predominantly, and we do fast track fit out. We're a business that is built on personality. We like to be a bit disruptive and we like to rely on the personality of our people to bring us through. So a little bit about BW. We're a business that does commercial office space fit out. We also do a bit of education, predominantly southeast of England and London. We're a business that undertakes circa 85 projects a year. Most of those carried out in occupied buildings. We have one strategy, defect free, that is it. We'll come on to that a bit later. And we are driven by creating partnerships. A lot of our industry is about relationships and building relationships, and the whole customer experience is driven by that. And so we are driven by that. About 200 staff. We do projects up to about 60 million, and our net promoter score at the moment is plus 49, something which I'll touch on later as well. We also have relationships with two other companies around the globe. So HIT in the US and Shape in Australia, both construction companies, and we're able to share knowledge, innovation, dig deep into each other's backyards and have a look at how to get better. We share staff as well, and we're in constant communication. We also look to share clients and suppliers around the globe. So that's pretty neat for us and really works in trying to improve our business long term. Here's a quick clip just to give you a kind of a feel of the kind of business we are. So here's a 40-second clip on BW. Enjoy. There we go. Hopefully that gave you a flavor of the kind of company we are. The agenda, I'm going to touch on what the customer experience in construction looks like from our point of view. I want to give you then a little bit of a look into it in terms of BW and how we go about managing, improving the customer experience. And then I want to talk about technology platforms and how we use technology platforms to, I suppose, improve the client experience that our customers have with us and the journey that they have with us. So straight into customer experience in construction. Quite a difficult subject to look at because most times that we look at the customer experience, we have business to consumer industries shoved down our throats, and it's quite difficult to look at a business to business company in that context. And so we've defined the customer experience for us as the art and science of coaxing loyalty out of all those daily transactions that you have. And for us, that kind of says it all, and it frames where we need to focus as a business. It's those daily transactions and getting them better and better and better. Some of those basic things, which is where the technology platforms come in. We often look at other industries. My team and myself often found other industries, and the ones that are kind of thrown at us, construction, are obviously the airline industry, the motor industry, and concierge or hotelier industry. And every now and again, we have contact centers thrown at us, and we all know that that has absolutely nothing to do with construction, but it's something we can look at and try and learn from of how they go about customer experience from a contact center point of view. And I think if we looked at all those industries, we'd all have a pretty good view of what exceptional customer service looked like in any one of them. Any of you, even if you aren't professionals in flying, would have a very good idea what a great airline looked like or great experience looked like from the air. Likewise, if you buy a car, you don't have to be an expert to know what a good car is, what a poor car is, what good services and what poor services. Exactly the same with staying in a hotel or eating out in a restaurant. Construction, on the other hand, is a little bit more difficult. We undertake many tasks every day, and yet we don't quite know what makes exceptional customer service, or very few of us know. Is it the free loading bay that we painted out? Is it the freebie that we gave? Is it the fact that we gave away 2 weeks on the program for free? There's so many things that we do in construction that we think give a great customer experience? And have we actually found the time to find out what they are? And here at BW, we take immense pride in looking at all the different interactions, which, by the way, are always with people, to find a way to get into that emotional space of our clients and make every one of those interactions, those touch points, important. We develop our site experience all around our site setup, and we have a manual which we show people, which our site staff are guided by, to try and get that experience up to a top level emotional tie-in. So it all stems from really understanding what our customers want. And here at BW, we spend a lot of time finding out what our customers want. And I guess that takes me into the next point, which is the customer experience at BW. And so we have a business which is very client focused, and we know that because every 18 months we carry out a perceived user value survey, which gives us insight into our clients, our customers, and what exactly they want from a fit-out contractor. It's our kind of reset button. It allows us to understand exactly what they're looking for if they were to employ someone again and again, if they were to recommend them or be loyal. We also carry out what we call customer experience questionnaires. These are questionnaires undertaken on every single project when it completes, with all of the professional team, the clients, the M&E consultants, the project managers, the architects, and the end users. So we can find out from them exactly what it is they enjoyed, what could be improved, and what they would do to buy us again. It's that recommended and loyalty again. And we have ongoing all the time business improvement projects guided around what our clients are telling us. And so we are a client-focused business. We listen to our clients, and our strategies are based on what our clients are telling us. We spend an awful amount of time collecting this data through our customer experience questionnaires. We analyze it. As you can see here, we kind of segment it into those touch points from tender all the way through to post-handover, and we can start segmenting and looking at any trends that come about year after year after year. We can look at any one time if there's a particular part of that journey that needs improving. We can run workshops, which I'll come on to later, and we can start looking if there are individual parts of that journey which need improving. We can segment that information into various formats. We can start looking at the scores by different client type. Are we giving our architects a better service than potentially the project managers? Or are our end users getting a better service? We can start looking at repeat users versus first-time users. Do our first-time users get a better experience than our repeat users? And likewise, we can start looking at all the touch points over time. Just a small collection of that data. And we produce a report every year, which is our client experience report, which basically details all of that data into graphs, recommendations, in which we can then base our strategy for the following year. We can also start putting in place improvement projects based on that client data. So this isn't us deciding what we need to do. It's us deciding what our clients want us to do. We don't only stop at the data and the statistics. We also look at every comment that our clients make. So we gather that information from the CEQs verbatim, and we start segmenting positive comments, negative comments, neutral comments. This allows us to understand not only the scores, but are there certain parts of our journey that could be improved because it has the most negative comments. So for instance, in this given year, 2018, at the top of the slide, there were 197 negative comments about our handover. So that allows us to pinpoint and do something about that. But likewise, there were 237 positive comments, so we were doing a lot right. And having this information and this wealth of knowledge allows us to start pinpointing where to improve the business, all in the name of what our clients are after. Very valuable and unarguable. You cannot argue against this data, and you cannot not have to improve a business, in my view. It is the truth. We've now developed an initiative called Defect Free at PC, which is defect free at practical completion, all based on that information from our CEQs. So our customer information, if we trend it together, has told us that our clients will more than likely use another contractor or a contractor again and again and be loyal to them if they deliver these 4 things regularly. And that is deliver the project without any snags, and in the US term, without a punch list. So we get those defects and punch lists down to 0. By doing all of that at practical completion, that's our on-time measure, is practical completion, which is written in the contract. By delivering the operation and maintenance manuals to our clients so that they know how to operate the product we've just delivered for them, and to be recommended. And we will ask our clients at the end of every project to score us and measure us against those 4 objectives. And a project gets the status of being defect-free. if it achieves all 4 of those. That is one very, very difficult feat, to get all 4 of those signed off when the project finishes. But that is what our clients are telling us success looks like. And that is the bar that we have set. And so we measure every project against those 4 elements and the defect-free stamp to understand whether that project was a success or not. So all the way through the life cycle of a project, we are explaining what defect-free is. We are measuring ourselves on site and explaining how it's going to be measured. We're measuring ourselves interim. And then at the end, we will measure defect-free. We will undertake a CEQ, and all of that information, as you can imagine, is then part of our religious reports weekly and monthly. And we can start picking up trends as a customer experience team and try and improve the business around those elements. That allows our staff to focus on only 4 things. It allows our staff to be very pinpoint in their improvement. It also allows the management to understand one number, which is significant in improving the business. And it allows people to have workshops around a very limited amount of improvement and not be doing things all over the place. Our measurement is also reported. So on a monthly basis, we will produce CEQ, or customer experience reports, on where we are, how many have been completed, the scores. We can start breaking down the scores and the net promoter score into years, and we can have league tables on our senior people and our project managers and understand where we can help people improve, or very much where we can pass best practice on. And so we use this data to try and improve the business at every single area. We use the recommended net promoter score. So we like to be able to differentiate our detractors and our promoters, and we use that information valuably when we mix clients in terms of marketing or sales events by having promoters with detractors. And we are always trying to turn our detractors into promoters. And understanding that information allows us to do that, whether it be from a business to business perspective, or whether it be individuals in the business who are able to interact with other clients and consultants using the knowledge that they understand where these people come from. So we use the net promoter score. It enables us to also score ourselves and compare ourselves outside industry. We love looking at some of the big premium global brands and comparing our score and understanding what they do and where we can learn. And this enables us to do that. We have the data to allow us to do that. In terms of operation and maintenance manuals, having a dedicated team that look at these manuals, which most people forget are so important. Our clients have bought a product, they need to know how it operates. And so we look at making these bespoke, by making them electronic, and by making them something that is part of the service. So we spend a lot of time and effort on ensuring that these are the best in class. And we often look at other industries to find out what kind of manuals. The car industry comes to mind. If you buy a new car, the type of manual you get, we should be in comparison with that, because a similar sort of price range in terms of premium brand is at stake. We also look at in-depth data with snagging. So if it's something that we are focusing on, we need to look at the data behind what we're delivering, and we use Procore to give us that information. And when it comes to timekeeping, understanding the program, understanding milestones, coming up with innovative ways to communicate the different milestones around our projects, as you can see in this slide, and having on-site pop-up desks with the program fully accessible to all. Just some of the things we do around that focus of on time. All of this doesn't just happen. We do have a customer experience team. We have a customer experience manager in Maria, and Melanie, our supply chain experience manager, and our data analyst, Jubs, all come together to bring all that information, part of a plan. We have a strategic plan which allows us, to be honest, to be accountable, and for the business to challenge us on whether we are delivering what we say we will. And that has high-level goals and tasks that we need to stick to in order to deliver this plan to improve the customer experience in our business. And very important to have that, so that we don't just start shooting from the hip and doing things that sound good in a different industry. It needs to be part of our plan, improving our business. What are the benefits we see from having defect-free, from trying to improve this customer experience, from gathering this data, from trying to improve our customer experience? We're able to understand if our customers are delighted. So at any one time, we can push a button and we know which customers are promoters, which are detractors, where we are on that score, just like you would if you're running a P&L or if you were looking at the cost valuation on any project, you'd understand whether you were in profit, where the cash was, where the turnover was. We do the same with our customer information, which is very, very powerful. We understand recommendation and repeat business. We know when we're going for pitches, which clients would recommend us, which have repeatedly said they'd use us again, which are loyal and which have accolades towards us. So we know that information up to date to the minute. We like to think by being successful and measuring things slightly differently, focusing on the customer, we have improved working relationships both with our consultants and with in-house with all the BW people. And that brings a bit of recognition and pride. People want to work for a business that is successful and they're proud of their achievement. It isn't just that we either made a profit or the finances on the project. It's the fact that the customer was happy and we can show it. Really, really powerful stuff. Improved financial performance. We measure every single project that achieves defect-free and those that don't. And I can tell you now, over 20 years, defect-free projects have an improved financial performance. It makes sense. They don't have snags. They finish on time. They are recommended. Sometimes negotiated works. So it makes sense. But we measure that because that's really important. That isn't the reason we're doing it, but it's a fantastic outcome. Long-term job security, working for a company that's in growth, that is delivering great work, that is looking after its clients. We'd like to hope that people want to stay with our business. And likewise, we'd like to know that there's a queue of people out the front door who want to come and work for us. So it's retaining those talented people and attracting more. So those are some of the benefits we see as a business. We do kind of measure those in a way to find out if we are improving all the time. And as a customer experience team, it's really important that we keep our eyes on those benefits. When it comes to using a technology platform, Procore has done wonders for us. We're able to take care of the basics and focus on the customer experience. And those basics are really important. If we are to start looking at the emotional journey that our clients have, if we are starting to measure the touch points that we have with our clients, all the basics, the RFIs, the drawings, the tech subs, the daily information flow needs to be done very well. It needs to have an audit trail and it needs to be done in a way that everyone has access to it. And so we use Procore. We launched Procore back in 2017. We made it mandatory on all our projects. That's just the way we did it. It worked. And for us, having something which is device agnostic, where anyone can access it. So if you look at this slide, you can access it on a phone, on a tablet, on your laptop. The information all comes from one source. We've also gone one step further where all our standard forms are put onto Procore. So we cannot access any project information other than through Procore. And that's just the way we've done it. It's worked for us. It's meant that everything's in one place. Looking at the project information we gather, we're able to look at an overview of every project. We're able to have data which relies on the input into Procore, but it gives us an overview of every single project, the kind of dashboard you can quickly look at as a manager or a contracts manager or a director from all the projects you have. And for us, that's really important in keeping tabs day to day of our projects, the basics that are in place. And I'll come on to some of the reports we do. We also look at snagging in detail around our supply chain. We're able to feed this information into our supply chain database, which is one of the best around, created in-house, but open from information from Procore. But we're able to look at subcontractors, and this is blanked out for obvious reasons, how many snags they have open at any one time, and how many days it takes them to close their snags. That information is fed into our database so we can make informed decisions about our supply chain from information in Procore. We report on open snags, tech subs, and drawings every week. This report comes to myself and the CEO, and we're able to identify any trends or any red flags that might go up at any one time where there are an excessive amount of open items on a project, depending on the timeline. For instance, a project that's got a week to go with 313 snags on that slide, a red balloon would go up immediately. I'd like to think it went up a long time before that, but that's the kind of thing we look at. We look at the time on a project, we look at how many snags are open, how many tech subs, and how many drawings. And that allows us to make informed decisions live. This is a report that comes out from Maria, just looking at open snags and tech subs so that we can identify any actions that are needed that week. And this comes out every week, straight from Procore. We're able to do workshops around the business, which can really focus on improvements that customers want to see. And I showed you the CEQ information. And likewise from Procore, if we identify an area that really needs improving, we can then run detailed workshops, and we can gather the actual content of that workshop straight from what clients are saying and what comes out of Procore and what's being missed. One of the ones we ran recently was around snag free. Again, along the lines of defect free, we ran a workshop looking at the types of snags in the industry, the type of methods of snagging we should put in place in the business. And focusing on that just means the following year, when we conduct exactly the same research, we come out better in the way we hand over our projects. Likewise, recently we did on-time workshops looking at how we deliver bad news, how we managing change, how we reporting time, some of the collaborative planning workshops and tools we have at our disposal, and those difficult conversations that need to be had with clients, and how we can do that much, much better to give them a better experience. So these are just two of the workshops that we carried out recently to improve the business and improve that customer experience, all based on the data that comes out of having a very solid tech platform. We also are able to tie into our supply chain database. So this information also encompasses our supply chain, so being able to segment our supply chain based on their performance. We have preferred, approved, and logged 3 groupings based on performance on our projects. So there isn't a small black book in the background belonging to a certain person that determines who they use. We base the decisions we make on our supply chain on how they deliver on their projects. And that is all linked to Procore, with the information that flows back and forth. So for us, the benefits of having a really solid technical platform is all the data is readily available. It's there. It gives us one single source of the truth. It allows us to then focus on the customer experience, which we're good at. It gives us live data. People who are moving between projects can access that data at any time, knowing it's the truth and the one source of information. It's device agnostic, which I mentioned. It's mobile technology. In today's world, we need that. Especially in today's world, we need that. Clarity and consistency across all our projects, and one source of reporting, which is absolutely necessary so that we don't start blaming the system and gaining trust in that system. And it allows us to continuously improve. It allows us to pinpoint where we need to improve that experience for our clients. So for us, it's absolutely fundamental we have a technology platform to build off. We have various other tech platforms. We use Salesforce, we use Autodesk, Revit, we use Coins for our financial, we use Aster Project. So for us, we have a supply chain database built in-house that allows us to transfer information between Procore and back again. Really, really important for us that Procore allows that information to go back and forth. Likewise, we use Power BI, allowing us to draw separate reports for health and safety and the likes. And Aster Project now uploadable onto Procore, which allows us to manage the program just through one single area, which is Procore. We also use Yammer. This is our Yammer hashtag, Life at BW, which allows us to then spread all the best practice out there from the learnings and how to get better. So those are some of the tech platforms we have at BW that kind of link into Procore. What I can say is it's a fantastic product that we use, but for us going to great and getting better, there would be some things we would look to improve. Having a financial management reporting linked to Procore would be a fantastic benefit. Having something where we can look at change management. Our industry is bound to change. Our clients change their mind at any one time. The experience they have with us is very much based on them being able to change their mind. And so having something built into Procore where we could manage that change, log it, develop it, report it, cost it, would be absolutely fantastic. I think those are areas that could really improve the product. And then the estimating front end. The information ends up on Procore. For us to be able to start it right from time of tender, engaging the supply chain would be even better. So we think those are 3 things which we know Procore are working on, which would take it from good to great and make it a fantastic platform that would encompass everything. Hopefully you've enjoyed what I've had to say. Hopefully you've understood how we've kind of got the customer experience around what our clients are saying and what we're able to deliver. We haven't designed it around other industries. We haven't looked at following business to consumer ideas. We've taken what our clients have said and developed our business ideas strategy around that. It works for us. I think every business has different ideas on how that works. For us, this works. It's great to share it with people. We are happy to share it. If at any one time you want to look me up and spend some time, I'm happy to run through, take you to some of our projects, show you what we do, and how we go about it. So it just leaves me then to just give you a taster of what this experience looks like. And we've tried to create something here which shows the feel and the smell and the emotion of being on a fit-out project. So turn the volume up, narrow your eyes, get in the zone, and enjoy a little bit of what BW do. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of Groundbreak, and hopefully catch you around. From London, cheers.